There we go.
Hey.
There we go again.
That's
I know, right?
That's gonna be there we go again. That's a white ass song.
Right?
Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Black Little Mermaid.
Black Twitter versus Queen Elizabeth.
And Sheryl Lee Ralph wins Emmy. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Jarrell.
And it's Auntie Landon here for Auntie Dewan.
Again.
Why you gotta say it like that? And it's Auntie Landon here for Dewan. Like she's sick of us or something.
I know Dewan was supposed to be back this week, but she on a plane currently getting back, and we had to record a little earlier this week than we originally planned. So she'll be back next week, and we'll finally get her Italian Vogue fantasy.
Let me tell you, them bitches like, I'm sick of them. Where's my Auntie Char at? Like, it's been missing an element of grace for weeks now.
We haven't had a word of the week in a little bit.
Okay, look, we haven't had an HR moment, you know.
Char out there, you see Char with her thighs all out and their Speedo.
With that captain. I said,
Speedo. I said, you better work, bitch.
I was like, that's my friend.
Okay.
That's my friend.
I said, let me book me a vacation right now.
Period.
Okay.
I said, my
does
friend
the body
looks
well.
hot. I was like, my friend looks hot.
I know she was looking good. I was like, go ahead, Dewan. Go ahead. She knew what she was doing.
She sure did.
It wasn't by accident.
No, that was like all Leo pure energy right there saying, I'm serving. You are getting all of this. Here is some taco meat for you too. Look.
I was like, go ahead. And then I like the one when she was on the bar. I put it on the stories today. And she had the little gimlet and it said Chardonnay on it. I was like, Dewan be so, he be on it. Had them thighs all out. I was like, go ahead, boo. I'm so living. But yeah, she'll be back next week. So we miss you, boo. But thank you again, Landon, for being on here.
Of course. Thank you.
It's boo.
How's everyone doing today?
I just clocked in. I was just telling the ladies before. Carell was like, what you want to do for Ask Auntie? And I was like, my mind is still at work. It hasn't clocked out yet. It's going to take me a few minutes. Because I literally, for y'all don't know in the community, I literally get off work, catch a bus, and walk right in the house, open the laptop, and hop right onto the podcast. Yeah. So I don't get time in between my 9 hours at work and the podcast. Yeah. So now I'm awake. Now I'm here. I got me a screwdriver. That's the real tea. That's what helped.
That's where the juice coming from. Okay.
That's how she got ready. So, we getting us some more.
I almost sometimes miss, though, coming from work or getting done with work and hopping on. Because what happens now is, like, I'll get in the door probably, like, 6 o'clock. Because, like,
you won't do shit.
Well, not that. Like, you try to hurry up and maybe eat something. And then, like, you get the itis. You be tired.
She said, look, my feet, my dogs are barking. They are up.
Period.
And rested.
Period. So I'll be like dozing off. I'm like, shit. So that's funny. But that's just because we have the 3-hour difference between East Coast and West Coast. But, community, we do it for the love of it and the love of y'all, honestly.
That's true.
And speaking of that, new segment alert. We're going to call it the community board, the community bulletin board. There we go. So a lot of times we get a lot of just like DMs, either comments of the episodes or stuff that the folks are going through, et cetera, that might not quite fit like the Ask Your Auntie segment. So this week, I thought, let's do it. Let's call it out instead of just responding in the DMs and nobody hears it, sees it, et cetera, besides like the communication between us and them. So this week is in response to last week's episode, which was the quiet quitting episode, the Jackson, Mississippi H2O, and what was the third one? I forget now. But just go back and
Chris Rock Smith.
Oh yeah, the Chappelle Rock Smith round 2,
something like that.
So episode 188 last week, and it was in response to us talking about just the Duke volleyball player situation. And it says, "Hey aunties, I'm listening to this week's episode, and I got a bit triggered and pissed off about the racist volleyball team. It made me think about when I was in high school back in 2011, which is a little stunt, by the way. Because I'm like, damn, high school in 2011, shit. I was like, I was full grown. And it said I played football. We were in Wisconsin and our team traveled to Muskego for the game. We get there and then have our pep talk in the locker room before heading out the locker room. As our team leaves the locker room, we go 2 by 2. So if you're trying to picture it, there's a line and you have one person next to you and we walk out holding that person's hand. Muskego's fans, in quotes, or drunk ass parents start yelling at us, calling us faggots. Then this woman looks at me and yells, "Oh, y'all have niggers on your team? We'll hang and burn y'all." Then everyone starts chiming in how they were going to kill us. Y'all, I have never in my life been so ready to fight. Every black person on that team was ready to throw down, but the rest of our team pulled us back. We got to the field and told the head coach what had happened. Our coach took every white person on the team off except the quarterback and let all the black kids play the whole game. We had to get police escorts to and from the locker room anytime we had to walk off the field, and we beat them 63-7. But I will never forget the look these disgusting people kept giving us, like we were beneath them. He says, and Auntie Jerome could tell you all about Muskego.
Yep. Sure
and so this is actually from Garris. He said we could use his name. So, hey, Garris.
Boo.
Yeah, so it's just interesting that a lot of folks are like, oh, it's, the 2000s, this don't happen. And honestly, the BYU situation, it just got reported this week on ESPN saying that, the fan is allowed back because they couldn't prove that this fan had said this stuff. And this is the whole thing, like just kind of hearing that, and obviously we don't want to backtrack and spend a whole nother episode on it, but it's just like, why would black people make this shit up? Like, we already got so much other attention on us for other reasons, and then to put this on top, we're gonna put this on, and then I guarantee you on social media, people are coming at her now. Mm-hmm. So why would we want to put that on us? Why would we make this shit up?
I made a mistake and start reading the comments of the ESPN post on Facebook that talked about BYU statement that said that, and to their investigation, not an external investigation, BYU's investigation didn't find anything or at all about them being called a nigger. And they apologized to the fan that was removed in their statement as well.
And he's or here they I don't even know who it was.
It's a guy, and he is allowed back into it. And let me show you the comments in there talking about they should take her scholarship, she should be kicked off the team, and the way that they are coming after this woman. I have to say this, I am proud of Duke for them talking of like their response being like, we don't play about our character and we stand up for our athletes.
Yep.
And what you said is an attack on our character as a college and as a university and as a team and a player. And to Carell's point, like, I don't understand why people would think someone would want to. I have a similar kind of story like that with Garris as well too. Like, I grew up diving. I would go to these invitations because I was one of the top divers and I was going to state and I was good. I ain't gonna lie. And I would have to go to these small towns where I was the only Negro in the whole aquatic center out of like 8 to 12 teams, the only Black person. And I would hear shit in the crowd, and this is 2004, 2003, 2005. I would hear shit in the crowd from white parents as well too, being like, I didn't know Black people could swim. Oh, like who let him in here?
Yeah.
Or like, oh, Black people do this too. Like but I'm not putting in the N-word part that was being said in
it's
these
implied.
Right. So it's the notion that people think that we as athletes are wanting to do this for, like, we're making this shit up.
What do we get out of it?
Right.
There's nothing to gain.
But you're also already playing a fucking sport where your mind needs to be concentrated there.
That part of it.
You think I'm so bored at this sport that I'm gonna, as I'm playing, I'm going to make up this whole situation.
I'm gonna tell the world that they call me a nigger.
While we playing, I'm serving a ball. I'm gonna say this man called me a nigger.
Right. No.
That's how that goes.
It's too much. So
fuck BYU. They've lost all their games. They've lost their games since then. Everybody in the community has been like, fuck them.
Yep.
Like Georgia State beat that ass. Georgia Tech beat that ass. Ohio State beat that ass.
Period.
Everyone come in for that ass. Okay.
1000%.
You know what you just mentioned about apologizing to the guy and then coming after the young lady who was, being called all of these racial slurs. There's no connection that she said it was that dude. What happened was whatever investigation occurred, that's what BYU determined. There's no story with her saying it was that particular dude. So to come after her for him being accused when she's not the one that accused him, it was just a general, hey, someone's saying this, someone's doing this, automatically tells you exactly what this is really about.
Yeah.
So and here's the thing. We all have stories like this, and to think that we're all making this bullshit up.
We all got stories.
Like, we ain't got time to be telling all these damn stories. Like, come on now. So stay strong, Duke University. Stay strong. Her last name is Richardson. What's her? Is it Rachel? And I meant to write down her name before this. It's something Richardson. So Miss Richardson, hey, put the respect on her name. Stay strong, because I know they're coming after you. I know it. I just know how social media act. I know how white people act.
I hope there's an external investigation. I hope they go to the NCAA and actually request an investigation and have a third party outside of BYU hold an official investigation. Because it's bullshit. I mean, and although we know how this play out because we Black, we didn't seen it before, they probably gonna be like, oh, inconclusive. They're not gonna say it. And that's the funny thing about their release was they claim to say it's inconclusive, but if you're gonna say inconclusive, you can't thank one side of the party.
Right.
You got to be neutral.
Yeah.
So thank you for sending that in, Garris. We
thank you for
that.
sharing that, and Sheryl, thank you for sharing your part. I know that alone for both of them can be re-triggering. Garris having to share that trigger, and then Sheryl, I don't know how long. I didn't know that. So as I hear my friend, which we'll address in a moment, that whole that little text, that little DM, hearing my friend, you just don't know someone's struggles. You don't know what their experience has been. So to hear that may have happened that did happen to my friend, however long ago that was, it feels like it just happened when I hear that from my friend. So thank you both for sharing that.
So that's going to be kind of a new thing. So if there's stuff that you want to comment on any kind of episode, I know y'all like a little good rebuttal. We be seeing them too. So if you want to rebuttal us too, go right ahead. And maybe you just pop up on that little community bulletin.
No, don't rebuttal us on the N-word. Nope, that's a no.
Oh, right, not the N-word, dear God.
No.
But it might be some other
some other topics. Right. Yeah, some other topics. Believe that mess at home.
Yeah, no rebuttal on this one. That won't even get the light of day.
No.
Don't
even try it.
Oh,
don't even try it.
You get dragged up on here with.
I might let Sheryl know just so we might have a new subject say, Auntie Handy, get him, these hands. These hands segment.
Anytime.
Anytime. Right? Too much, but you just hinted at it for a little bit there, Landon. What were you talking about in the text?
So in the text between the four of us, I have to laugh because it's so funny. Because you just got to know us.
Yes.
So someone messaged Dewan in the DMs. I'm listening to Minoritea. What's this tension between the guest host and Sheryl?
Yeah, so what is the tension, guys? What is it?
But there is no tension. That's the gag. Like, if you don't know us, obviously they probably wouldn't.
Right.
But like
on a personal level, they know it's through like
on a
this.
personal level,
Yeah.
Jarrell and I,
we're family.
We're family. Listen. Jarrell is my brother, my sister. You know, Jarrell, I would think about giving you a kidney if you needed one.
Think about
Same. We'll think about it.
Sorry, we're not a match.
Somebody else, but we'll find you one. It may not be mine, but I'm gonna find you one. We'll get you one. Right.
I love you that much.
Sorry, girl, we're not a match.
I'll suck dick for a kidney for you. There you go. That's what I'll do.
Oh. No, that might be a win for you, girl.
That's a win-win. That's a win-win. Okay.
But in all seriousness, there is no tension. This is what we do. There's no tension. We shade each other. She usually starts it. I even have the receipts. Let me
don't
go.
Even.
Listen.
Don't even.
Listen.
Yesterday, that day was the first day that I decided
the
to wake up and choose. Exactly. I've been nice.
She was
nice. So on episode 175 on June at minute 205,
right
after 2 weeks after Palm Springs, the four of us we were on, and we talked about how Jarrell started shit with me in Palm Springs when we were all sitting on the couch. I got details. I wrote this shit down.
I know that's right.
You tried to go 10 minutes without shading me, and you could barely get through 4.
That's right. He said close enough.
The real tea was, I said, I'll wait till noon, and I made it to 11:56, and I was like,
close
I was close.
And I was, let's be for real, like, do you really think we're gonna have a guest auntie who's really at this point just part of the show be on here, and there's gonna be like no love and respect? Nah, we ain't like that. You ain't gonna get on here.
So that's my brother, that's my sister. So there is no tension, there's no animosity. I don't like your ass, but I love you.
I love it. And you know what? So to get from one side of the spectrum of like the Duke stuff to get to the other side, Miss Sheryl Lee Ralph, Moeshi's mama, Rita with the twos mama.
Okay.
It's gonna make me tear up again.
I teared up.
I was watching that shit live, and just to see the sheer joy and just like, again, like the speech said it all. Like, she's been in this business for like 50 years.
Time. I know when she gave Miss Rita Watson,
honey,
in
the original Dream Girl.
Okay. When she.
Honey, get in this house, okay? She told Lauryn Hill, "Don't make me come outside."
and gave her a look when Sister Mary Clarence stopped by trying to get her back in the choir,
and we all
she gave
seen that
look like,
honey. And the thing is, like, I saw this interview, or it might have been even on the red carpet, where she was just saying, it's like Bob De Niro, who like people just say like is like the actor's actor, told her 30 years ago, they're like, he's like, you are like good. He's like, Hollywood's not gonna check for you. He's like, and that sucks. He's like, because you are just so talented. He's like, stay strong, hang in there, don't give up. And so she shared this on the red carpet. She's like, I took that advice. She's like, if someone like a Bob De Niro is telling me how good I am, y'all can't tell me shit, and my time is going to eventually come. You know, people are going to eventually see how talented I am, you know? And so to be this deep in your career, to get your first Emmy, and it's only the second Black actress to get a supporting actress like win after Jack Kay, you know, Mary win, which is crazy. So you're telling me only two actresses could be that good out of all these roles and out of all these years? Only 2 are good enough to win? So that's wild. So we still need to continue to see this representation and give folks opportunities to show and shine. So shout out to her. Shout out to Quinta. Or what's the name?
Quinta.
I'm sorry.
Block this part out, please.
He was excited. He was so excited. You know, Quinta now.
Thank you for her too for creating the show and winning.
Black excellence on deck.
It was. Lizzo winning
too.
Yes.
Like, that was dope. I really felt for Lizzo, and I really loved that moment. And I love that she was like, where my big girls at? And they were up there. And, you know, she was just like, they're like these stories. And even her story of like, I wanted to see someone that was not only black like me, but also fat like me. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And beautiful like me.
And beautiful like me. And just representation. There's so many sides to representation and what it means, you know. And I absolutely just love it. I will say there was one thing that pissed me off. A black lady sketch show needs to get its flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's gonna be hard to be SNL just because of just the sheer amount of votes that they probably get. Just because it's SNL, you know.
But it drives me insane.
I know.
It was a 50-50 chance, bitch.
I know. It was only it was like a black lady sketch show, and that like the clip went on for like a minute. I was like, oh, they showing a lot of this episode. Okay, cool.
And that Jesus episode was hilarious.
And then I was like, oh, that's it. But then I was like, oh, damn, there really aren't that many sketch shows anymore. No, I agree. I love that Issa Rae before the show. Laverne Cox was like, famously and iconically 5 years ago, you said you root for everybody black. How do you stand now for root for everybody black? She's like, I'm still rooting for everybody black. Ain't nothing changed. I was like, go ahead, Issa. And by the way, Sheryl Ralph too was giving us leg, face, hair, and everything. She looked so hella good.
She looked real good.
She looked so hella good. I was like, oh my, go ahead, ma. Go serve it.
Yeah. How do we feel about this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing?
I was just about to bring that up.
Not ending the bit once Quinta won.
Yeah, I go back and forth in my mind.
I saw this. I had to pull it up. I was just about to bring that up. So there's this meme, and it's 100% truth. The caption is, textbook example of whiteness centering itself in a moment where a black woman should have been celebrated alone.
Yeah. I struggle because like I don't think that was his intent. He was like in it for the bit, but after you saw who won, maybe something in your mind should be like, oh, hold on, okay, I'm all for a good bit, but let me roll my ass off the stage right quick. Because this is
their moment. Like, I could understand if maybe it was someone who won maybe like 3 or 4. You know, they've done cool. But this is the first time, like, you gotta move out the way. You gotta move out the way. She's gonna
be on Jimmy Kimmel tomorrow night, so we're recording on a Tuesday. So she's said backstage, she's like, honestly, Jimmy was the first one that gave me a chance to be on nighttime TV. So she's like, I adore Jimmy. She's like, I didn't in the moment really think too much of it. She's like, but maybe I'll punch him in the face on Wednesday. I don't know.
Right.
Because I'll be on the show on Wednesday. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, this episode is going to come out after they have their little probably bit on the show. But it'll be interesting to see what that conversation is, if he genuinely maybe apologizes or if they come up with something just funny or something, whatever it may be. But yeah, I wish she had her moment alone. I'm glad that the cameraman or the operating room, the way that they did it was literally just her. You didn't see the floor. Obviously, you see the pictures that kind of came out from the ceremony. But I was like, at least live on TV, you did not see Jimmy or nothing there. Yeah. And they focused solely on her. So I was glad at least for 99% of the stuff we're going to see out that lives forever, we're not going to see Jimmy in the frame.
But also know where we know that Jimmy is someone who sees us probably a little bit more in a positive light. You know, he got on his show and talked about why it was really important. You know, when he was talking about his son and why people on the Affordable Care Act, like why that's important. So I think he's not someone. He's not that white person that would like intentionally do that. I think what just it kind of speaks to what Carell said. Like, we might either get like a really funny sketch, or Jimmy is gonna legit be like, you know what? I apologize because while that wasn't my intention, sometimes it's not necessarily about intentions. It's just about the act itself. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just comes out and says, you know what, I stole your shine for a moment, not realizing like what the bigger picture would have been about.
And what he might do is, because he always be letting people host this show when he feel like taking a little vacay. He'd be like, you know what, you got a whole month on my show, host it, which might open up more doors on the line for, Right. So he's very good about that kind of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. And maybe I got to take this part out on Monday if he don't do shit. Like, damn, Jimmy, you ain't did shit.
Damn, Jimmy.
But no, it was just cool to see a lot of black folks win and just look their acceptance speeches being fire, and they looking fire, and the shows that they won for are fire. So So
also, I want to say shout out to what was the lead actor from Squid Game. He was the first person to win lead actor for a drama series that was not of a non-English show. Which is crazy to think about. And he did good though. Let me tell you, because man, look, every time I see a cookie, I'll be like, "Ooh, got needle, bitch." I'll be right up.
Oh shit!
Okay, oh shit. Gone, bitch.
And then even the director of the show, who created the show, he won as well. And he said, and maybe we'll even do better on season 2. I'm like, okay, season 2 gonna do too much to me.
The best part,
season 1 was too much.
The best part of his acceptance speech, you can tell he won an award already before, because he was like, he said somebody's name, he was like, I mentioned you this time, see? And I was
like, we love a little petty moment.
I said, I know that's right, but I said your name.
I know that is right. Oh man, but I need to catch up on the rest of the first season of Abbott, because I know this new season's starting now.
You haven't finished it?
Girl, you know how I am with shows. Like,
I got Hulu for you. I
have it, but like, wait, do you have the free Hulu or the paid Hulu?
I got the paid Hulu.
Oh, see, I might need to get y'all because I got the free one from like a decade ago.
Listen, I think Sheryl and I can agree. We ain't got time for commercials.
So I know that's right.
I ain't got time for it.
But here's the thing: I don't even be watching Hulu. The only reason I keep Hulu is because my sister has it, like my login, and then my friend has it, and so I have his. I'm telling on myself. Earplug. I got something of his, and he got something of mine.
Come on,
so bleep that out.
Right.
Bleep that out.
I know that's right. So don't be canceling. You don't know who's I got. But so like that's the only reason I'm like, okay, let me at least keep it, because I know they be watching, and because I don't want to have to give up my access to their others thing.
See, I never watch anything in real time other than award shows. Other than that, I watch all my shit the next day. So that way I don't gotta worry about no goddamn commercials.
I know that's right.
And I don't have to worry about forwarding shit. Like, I even be laughing when Hulu be like, because I watch Grey's Anatomy, and they'll be like, a commercial will start at the beginning of your show and after your show, and they go straight to Grey's Anatomy. I said, no, the fuck you won't.
No, it won't.
I hear that shit.
See, yeah, because like out of the three of us, and then even like the three, like Dewan, I'm the one that probably watches the least TV. So a lot of it, I'm like, and then so with what happened with Abbott is like I was on it for a while, and then now I'm like 13 episodes behind, and so you know how I start calculating that in my head, and then I be getting like, oh shit, I don't got like 9 hours to catch up. When I really probably do. So
speaking of things that you do that we don't do, this John Legend album,
I haven't listened to it yet.
This John Legend album,
I bet it's good.
I bet
it is.
It is. I was like, I might have to find a way to insert this, because still Renaissance is just everything for me right now. It's very much still is. I just got to a point where I feel comfortable with it being on shuffle. Okay.
I can't do that one yet.
Look, let me tell you, it still gets me every now and then. It may be on shuffle, and I may listen to that song 5 times before I go to the next song, because I done wore it out that I need to hear something different. Because otherwise I'm just gonna go back to it. But though this John Legend album,
I bet it is.
Really
the last one was fire.
good.
The last one was so good. Okay, and this is a long one because I did see it's like a double album. So I'm like,
so good. Like he gives you everything.
Yeah.
Like he had me in love, like feeling my feelings, being like, you my stardust. Then being like, damn, I got you wondering, you wondering woman, like, to then being like, I don't love you like that no more. Like this ain't it.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and then he gives you like some of the soulfulness, but then he gives you a little bit of like an R&B with a hint of pop.
Yeah.
But then we'll give you like a little reggae, but then we'll give you a little like, I won't even say alternative, but it's like,
he's found a way to mix up his style in the last 2 to 3 albums.
Yes.
Before, like, and he's still giving us John Legend. Mm-hmm. But for a moment there, you're like, okay, I can't do too many more All of Me's no more, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Now he's like, okay, I'm going to still give you a moment of All of Me, but I'm going to mix this shit up right quick to show that I am just more than, like, the crooner.
I might have to go back to it, but I didn't feel an All of Me song like that in this album. But there was one song on there that I was like, oh, John, you didn't have to do this one. Because you know that song that he had with Meghan Trainor, like, there's another song that has that same kind of melody to it. But he don't sing it in the same, tempo as that song. But you can hear it in the background. I'm like,
it's like, okay, you could have kept that one.
Yeah, I was like, you could have left that one off. But all the rest of it, I said, Mr. John Legend.
He's aging quite nicely.
I said the same thing last night when I was watching him doing the memorial. I said, okay.
Jonathan.
My nigga. I said, look, that's how you do it. Okay. But we know why she pregnant. Sure.
Period.
Okay.
Listen. When I listen to this episode on Monday, I'm gonna be hitting that back. I'm gonna be hitting that 15-second button just for that one Carell moment.
So I give it every episode. Somebody gonna get it in every episode. And this one, Mr. Jonathan Legend, Jonathan Stevens.
Okay, he can get it.
I'm just saying.
Speaking of the musician, real quick. I just have to say, like, a shout out to Jennifer Hudson, because she started her show this week, her talk show this week. She's gonna have to grow into it a little bit. Okay. But I can see the realness in her. Okay. Just like even in the first episode, when she came out, like she was in tears, like crying, being like, it was just her. Yeah. And not the crowd to be singing happy birthday to her, like the black version as well. And it was her birthday too, And she had Simon Cowell as her first guest on too.
That's why I wanted to see it, because I wanted to see that combo.
Yeah, but she does such a good job of like having that humbleness, but also that realness, being like, you know what, like I'm glad, that this led out to where I am, because had I sang a different song, American Idol, I wouldn't have sang, I wouldn't have had the part in Dreamgirls, because I forget the song that she sang. It was it
the Lion King one?
Nope, it was some white dude. What was his name? I don't know. It was a white dude, but the way she sang it sounded like the writer wrote it thinking of Dreamgirls in mind. Okay. And so that's what they thought she was going with it. Oh, okay. And so that's what led for her to get the Dreamgirls role. Yeah. So like, even though that was the song she sang that sent her home, it ended up being
Dreamgirls. Yeah.
Okay,
she got Dreamgirls.
It ended up being the song that was a catalyst for her.
Yeah.
That's why, same kind of story with Sheryl Rowe. You just don't like.
You just don't know.
People be giving up too easy. Like
greatness takes time.
It takes time. It takes experience. It takes
acknowledgement. It takes acknowledgement.
It takes sometimes getting some no's. Yeah. Like you thought that's what you wanted, but no. Here's your path, and it's gonna take you there. Then maybe back to what you originally thought you wanted. Then you're gonna realize you didn't even need that. See, you gotta just stick it out, and if you're just diligent and consistent enough. You just never know and believe in your shit.
to go from, you know, American Idol to Dreamgirls. I forget if there was something in between, but she did Sex and the City for a little bit, the Sex and the City movie that came out, and then just spotlights. Yeah, lights. But to go from Sex and the City and then to win to be an EGOT,
honey,
like, damn. Like it,
and Aretha said, "No, you playing me, ho."
Right, all of that.
Personally chosen.
I'm just
personally
saying,
chosen, handpicked.
And Aretha didn't like everybody.
No, she
right.
did. No, she sure did.
It takes a lot. It takes
she
a
did
lot.
not hold back.
I'm just saying.
I would never forget when she talked about Ariana Grande. You mean that little girl that be hollering?
Wait, what'd she say about Taylor? Nice gowns?
Yeah, nice gowns.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. She would read.
Nice girl, nice gowns. I'm just saying, so to be picked by the pettiness of them all.
Yeah.
That's
I just wanted to say a shout out. It was just nice to just see someone come in full circle like that, and also being a birthday, like you could just see the evolution of, like, we grew up with Jennifer Hudson, you know,
and what
this generation,
absolutely.
I mean, to be and like just to know her roller coaster is just like people connect to that shit because it's like to have
real
your mom
shit.
And your
real life
nephew
shit.
murdered like that,
real life shit. Is like to be able to relate to that and like know that. Unfortunately, it does happen to celebrities too, to be able to like, wow, that happened to someone. Like, I know that it's just not me.
Yeah. So, and then shout out to, like, even though Lizzo won for the best, reality show host or whatever, something like that. RuPaul had won like the week before, and he's literally the most, so it ended the reign of RuPaul in the Drag Race, but he is literally the most winningest black artist in Emmy history. So we can't sleep on RuPaul at all because, again, who would have thought even 10 years ago to see the run he's had for an art that folks for so long
did
not like and were like calling you all kinds of names. So we got to shout out to Ru, and I know some people are like, "Oh, I like Ru, I don't like Ru, whatever." At the end of the day, though, facts are facts. She winning, and she black, and she queer, and putting people on.
and don't forget, like reading this one article, outside of the reality TV hosting category, RuPaul is the winningest black artist in Emmy Awards history, a record that Ru already broke in 2021 when the Drag Race host won his 11th Emmy, now extending his record even further. Like, damn, bitch, work.
So shout out to you, Ru. Thank you. We see you, and you saw us. We see each other. So, what else? You know, golly, the time be going by so quick on here. Should we save Mermaid? Yes, we're going to tease it. Save Mermaid for after Ashley Aunties and Twitter and Queen Elizabeth after Ashley Aunties. So we'll take a quick little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo
Aunteas
got merch! Hey! That's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there, so go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find it at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minorityReport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. Alrighty, ladies. You ready? You ready?
We ready.
What time is it?
Ask
Yo
I got it.
You got it?
You want? You
Oh,
sure?
you're the guest. You know, you're the guest.
Yeah.
Come on, boo boo.
Okay. All right. Hey,
You need your
aunties,
glasses on?
Don't do it. Yes, I do.
You sure do.
I knew they were on the side, so.
Yeah, they were. But in all seriousness, so hey, aunties, I'm 55 and had ED ever since my testicular cancer treatment / surgery. My question is, at what point should I tell my prospective partners I don't always get an erection? I'm a bottom, which normally comes up early in the conversation, especially meeting up on one of the apps.
I just want to clarify, ED, erectile dysfunction?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you're comfortable, I guess. Like a lot of times, I feel like we gotta say shit before we're ready in a
Or
conversation.
be on a timetable. Or be on a
Right.
timetable for sharing that information.
And I get it on the apps. Like a lot of times, the apps are for hooking up and things like that. So, I mean, excuse me, sorry. If you're comfortable enough, maybe even put that in your profile to just put it out there so it's not you feeling awkward every single time. And I don't get the feeling that you feel awkward, but you just know it's going to be a potential question or a potential issue maybe for the other folks. Cancer's a real thing. I mean, and it's impacted a lot of families and a lot of folks. So you might get more empathy and sympathy more than anything, and people realize what it is. Being a bottom, you know, maybe it doesn't come up as often, and you know, get your back blown out, girl, and keep on going.
Get those guts rearranged.
I'm just saying. So I mean, I don't know if there's a certain point. I think my recommendation is if you're comfortable with yourself, which it kind of comes across that you are, maybe put it in your profile. If that's not what you want to do, I would say if they're trying to top you, it may be earlier in the conversation, because if they're maybe like a total top, a lot of times total tops ain't looking at nobody's dick no way, you know, and they just trying to rearrange guts like Landon said. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm providing that good of an answer, because I just feel like it should be on your timetable and your comfortability and not anyone else's. And so that's my bottom line of it. As long as you're comfortable with the situation, don't let anyone make you feel less than.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you to therapy. That's gonna be my advice, to have you talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
One, because being a survivor of cancer carries a certain emotional baggage and emotional journal and weight that comes from it that a lot of people can't begin to understand. So I'm not going to give you necessarily advice. I'm going to just point out a couple of things. One, I think therapy would be a helpful way to make sure that you're unpacking, you know, what your cancer journey has been for you. Okay. Two, I think you're also going to need to unpack how that's going to affect you in the queer community, because the truth of the fact is, and it's the reality, there's two sides to every coin. There are some of us that are accepting, and there are some of us that are judgy. Yeah. I would not encourage you to put that in your profile, because it is a hookup site, and people tend to be way more judgy behind a device online and social media than they do to tend to be in person. So I would refrain from doing that, because at the end of the day, it's not like you're giving someone anything or anything like that. You're talking about literally being a survivor of cancer. Okay. On top of that, you also want to be careful of using that your experiences to also possibly guilt people. So again, that's what I'm talking about. Send you to therapy to unpack all that to begin with. Okay. The other thing another reason why I would send you to therapy, because I'm also curious, because you didn't mention here, what was some of the experiences that you've dealt with so far that have made you want to even have to ask this question? Because I don't know. So I would be curious to be like, well, how are people treating you? Mm-hmm. Okay. And how is that affecting you? And why is that affecting you? So I'm going to honestly say, I don't think there is a timetable. I don't think you should disclose that beforehand. But I think before you can get comfortable to being in a place where you can, there might be some things you want to unpack first. Because at the end of the day, you disclosing this should never be dictated by someone else and how they feel. It is your information, it is your journey, it is your life, and it is your story. And it is up to you to decide when you do or you do not tell that story. And if you are doing it in the hopes of trying to get someone else to do something, I don't think that's for the right reasons. So I'm going to say go to therapy to truly get the answer that is the most healthiest for you.
What do you think about it?
I'm right there with Jarrell. There are more ways than one parentheses erection parentheses to show that you are into someone or attracted to someone or that you are turned on. It doesn't, an erection might be the number one thing that we think of, but in the long run, how you invest emotion, because let's keep it real, in intercourse, in making love, whatever the moment calls for, your emotion and how you carry that out also comes through and can also be attractive. How you kiss, how you nibble on someone's ear, all of the things that you do outside of having an erection show that you are turned on and interested in the person that you are with in the moment, whether it be a one-time partner or a multiple or long-term partner. So I agree with Jarrell. I would add on that don't equate being turned on, attracted to those things that when it comes to like those things are important. Yeah, like it's great. Like you want to show that off, but it's not just an erection that shows that.
Right.
And when it comes down to at the end of the day, like if you want to share that, especially like sexual health is more than just a condition, a blood condition, HIV, et cetera, et cetera. Sexual health includes this, and being upfront and honest about sexual health, which includes maybe a STD or a physical function such as ED. That's a part of sexual health and being honest and being aware that it's a reality and not trying to hide it. You got to be honest with yourself. Not hiding it is a part of this journey, and you have to decide if you want to share that or not.
And go to your doctor. Like, so they're going to know if you're a good candidate for a Cialis, a Viagra, a Levitra, things like that, especially since a testicular cancer treatment surgery, this is their job. They see this, they know what maybe the side effects will occur after such treatment and surgery. So just to see if you're even a good candidate from jump of, okay, maybe the Cialis will help you a little more, or the Viagra, whatever it may be. Medicine has gotten pretty good nowadays for ED specifically. But I don't know the full treatment and surgery, and maybe it's not a good candidate. But I would definitely have that conversation with your doctor as well, because they're going to be able to lead you down a path. Because there's even pumps now and things like that that could have surgery to inflate your penis for you, if that's important to you. If showing an erection is important to you. But like, I agree with Landon in that regard, that there's way many other ways to show that you're interested and turned on in the moment.
Also keep in mind that I think we're also beholden to the expectations within the gay community of certain things, and having an erection during sex is not necessarily like the sole indicator. Like I said before, like it's not the sole indicator that you are turned on by someone. That the way that you respond to maybe someone kissing you or hitting your G-spot or whatever that is, the way that you respond to certain stimuli, if you will, also can be a way of showing that you are turned on. So, we're not sex therapists. We're not therapists. I know you asked for advice, and, we just are giving our personal perspectives. But at the end of the day, I agree with Jarrell in seeking out a therapist, a sexual therapist that will help you make the right decision that is right for you based upon your ability to talk about it with a professional.
Absolutely. But thank you for being vulnerable enough to share this with us. Because sometimes these things, especially ED, for some reason, even though we've all had moments where it might not work the way you think it should have worked in the moment, it's such a normal thing as people. So
yeah.
Thanks for sending again. Continue to send your Ask Your Aunties to AYA at minorityReport.com or DM us.
One thing it hit me, you know, when he started, he or she, I'll say he, in kind of they just starting off with stating their age, and it helps me understand as a guest auntie of understanding the range of the demographic that we have listening to the podcast. We have someone, this is not a millennial that's just listening to us be crazy up on this piece, you know? So it's good to know that there are individuals out there from all age ranges, from maybe the person who's in the closet and living in their parents' house in the South, like we were talking about earlier, in college, to someone who is vulnerable enough to share a lot of personal information. I was like, thank you for just putting that stuff out there, putting yourself out there, and just being honest about, you know, what you want to talk about. So
and get that back blown out.
Yeah. Girl, get them guts rearranged, honey.
Yeah. So, I mean, this week, Black Twitter has been on fire. Black Twitter be tripping me out. So first, we'll talk about Little Mermaid because it made me cry. It made me cry the first time I watched it. I was like, she just looked so beautiful and she sounded so pretty. She just sounded so good. Oh, it's making me tear up now. I was just like, oh my God, good job, Halle. And then the second time around, I was like, oh, that's a black mermaid too. Like, even like the skin tone didn't even register the first time. Like,
she was just like, the voice. She was just caught up on the voice. It was just
perfect. It was so perfect. And she did the, I was like, you better put a little riff on Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I had to watch it a couple times because it wasn't after a couple. I was like, "What's wrong with her eyebrows? I don't fuck them eyebrows. I don't care." That voice though, I went back to the vibe. Let me tell you, like she was too pretty, so they had to give her like a little wrinkle or something like here where it just looks a little weird. Yeah, for real. And you go and look at like she has a little something here, and I was like, they give her like gills on her forehead or something. Like I don't know what it is, but they had to normalize her. I was like, I teared up, and the sad thing is it lasted for all of maybe like 5 minutes when I watched the video, and I was like, damn, I'm excited for so many black girls for their introduction to the Little Mermaid is that she's gonna be black. Yeah, that their introduction to the Little Mermaid isn't the Little Mermaid that we know of. Like how exciting that is going to be life-changing, you know. And then of course then people come talking about why she gotta be black, and that don't even sound like the original mermaid.
It's not supposed to. That's the gag. That's the thing.
Well, I'm looking at her eyebrows. I don't see nothing wrong with the eyebrows.
Really? Well, wait, we talking about some deep shit. Is she over here?
She's looking at the eyebrows.
I didn't even notice.
It looks like maybe like it's like they had you know, like the glue, like the like drag queens had the glue, and maybe they tried to glue down her eyebrows a little bit. I see it over her left eye. I see what you're trying to say.
If you look at the trailer part for it, like the thumbnail for it, you can see it.
Here we go, right here. So I see what you're saying, like on that side.
No, like in the middle, like literally in the middle. Yeah, look in the middle of her eyebrows. There are like little divots right there. I don't think those are natural to her.
Well, she don't have like a scar or anything?
No, but you see those are like scars, right?
Well, I think she has a scar because I'm looking at now like a regular picture of Halle. So the side that doesn't have the mole, it does look like on that side she actually has like a little scar, but I don't see nothing on the other side.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. White people be tripping. The funniest one, but the most real one too, was just like, all these white men acting like they care about the Little Mermaid.
but let's also remember, mermaids do not exist. So y'all are getting your granny panties torn up and twisted over things that do not exist. The same people that are throwing up a fuss, let me repeat myself again, the same people that are throwing up a fuss and getting their granny panties caught up in a twist have no problem about the fact that mermaids don't exist. This is not real.
And here's the thing, if you really do your history, mermaids used to be in a lot of African tales. So let's, if you really want to do your history facts, let's do some research here and show that actually a lot of African tales where they think even mermaids stemmed from. And that's part of the world. And you see it in like maybe even Greek mythology. So you probably get a lot of Arab stuff in there as well on that coast of Africa. So it ain't looking like Ariel. It ain't looking like Melissa Milano or whatever, or Alyssa Milano, who they...
So the same people that are throwing up and kind of bitching a fit didn't have any problems, and I'm going to list some shows here because you know I love my research.
Jesus?
They didn't...
Oh.
There we go. They didn't have shit to say when, you know, white actors were, you know, voicing black characters, and let me list some. On The Simpsons, Apu, Carl Carlson, whatever his name is on The Simpsons, voiced by a white actor. Family Guy, Cleveland Brown, Cleveland Show, Cleveland Brown, Bob's Burgers. There's a show that for the longest time on Netflix, a show called Big Mouth on Netflix. Yeah. Jenny Slate stepped down from voicing that character. Y'all ain't got shit to say when there was a white actor voicing a black character. But now that we actually have representation in a movie where the animation was white, because that was the thing to do back in the day, y'all have something to say.
We have to remember that a lot of their original introductions to a lot of these movies stem back from the 90s when that representation wasn't there. The truth of the fact is that white people have been playing people of color forever. For the history of
mankind. Yes.
They have literally been playing people of color forever. And what they're now doing is just being mad at the fact that they are no longer getting those roles because they're being given to people that deserve them. And this goes back to the whole thing when we talked about like the Game of Thrones, you know, when people were mad that there was a black person in Game of Thrones. Like,
it's like this shit don't exist, y'all.
Like the main character
said,
like
real.
But like he said, you can believe in dragons, but you can't believe in black people. You can believe in mermaids, but you can't believe there's a black mermaid. Like
it's like out of all the mermaids in the sea that you think is just not one of them black.
They all look like you.
Ursula was purple.
Bitch, okay.
Ursula was purple in this damn cartoon. Like, you can make it anything you want. Y'all lack creativity. That's what y'all lack. We can tell by your music.
And you're dancing. And you're dancing.
And you're cooking.
So you know what's also crazy about it too? Like the Pinocchio, the live action Pinocchio came out on Friday too. And people were up in arms about Cynthia Erivo being the fairy godmother of Pinocchio.
And she sang the shit out that song too.
She sang that shit out there.
I love her voice.
She can sing. And they were like, why she gotta be blue?
See, I did a good job. I honestly didn't read a lot of comments on Little Mermaid because I knew what was going to happen. So I just dove into Black Twitter. Yeah. Black Twitter gives you life. Like we get the humor of it, and we're about to be like, you know, we're about to have some fun on this, and we're going to show all our little black girls loving that she's brown and looks like them. And she kept her locks, too. I'm glad she kept her locks and that they didn't try to give her something else. Who, honestly... The only other voice that I could potentially hear being Little Mermaid is Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, I'm glad they found someone that's just talented and black. You know? Because literally, you hear this song, I'm like, it was just so beautiful. So beautiful, and is everything you needed. And that's what this live action should be about. It should be about nothing else. Yes, I'm glad they picked a black girl, but I believe they picked her because she was the most talented one for this role.
That part.
And so that's the part that kind of gets lost in all this, and she knew it. I'm sure they prepped it because it's been like 3-4 years since she's been casted, and she heard it then. And so she's becoming older now too, and so I'm sure her skin's getting a little thicker. But I'm sure they prepped her before this, be like, girl, you know what's about to come, so Let's get
You
you,
know
in
what's
therapy.
crazy?
Let's get you whatever we need to get you up on because
Melissa
here it
McCartney,
come.
she warned us when she was on what's the dude from Real Housewives that do the after show that you were on?
Oh,
Andy Cohen?
Andy Cohen?
Andy Cohen, yes.
Yeah.
So Melissa McCartney was on that, and she warned us, and that was like almost a year ago. She was like, I heard her sing, and it brought me to tears.
Yeah, that
she
was the
like,
end of 2020.
Yeah, she was like, I was literally in tears.
Yeah.
And now hearing this trailer, I was like,
honey,
I still wasn't ready. Like
Black Twitter said, I can't wait to the part where she up on the rocks like this in the waves. I was like, me, I can't wait either. That's the part I'm really waiting for. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you know my collection's complete? Oh my God, I can't wait.
It's gonna be everything. I love the meme, and it's a clip from RuPaul's Drag Race where all the queens are dressed like mermaids.
Yeah.
And it said me and my friend inside the Little Mermaid.
I think I'm lying.
I said, yep.
I saw one today where they had the locks. They're like, how you going to the movies? And they had the red locks. I was like, girl, I'm about to find me a red lock wig. Same. I like that one. Then I like the one where they always put like, it's a green screen. They always put like whatever they want to, and the bar erupts. And so it's her singing, and the bar really, I was like, I know. So yeah, I can't wait for it. The only thing is, like, I wish they had some bubbles in the water. That's the only thing I was thinking. I was like, she's swimming in this water. No currents and no bubbles. So for the whole movie, it's gonna be interesting.
Only you would pick up on that.
I know, right? If I truly feel like I'm under the sea or not. That's the only other thing. I'm like, okay, we'll see how they make, because like Aquaman and all that stuff, I'm like, ugh. The digital stuff wasn't quite there for me.
It hit for me. I actually liked them not having bubbles because they're supposed to. They're supposed to. The bubbles is oxygen.
But like not even like.
So
singing,
why
but
would
like
you have oxygen?
With her fins be moving, I'm like.
But there needs to be oxygen in order for that to happen. Why would?
But no, like when you underwater, you be flapping.
Honey, that does not connect. No, hold on. I want to know what you doing under the water where you flapping and there's bubbles under the water because bubbles come from oxygen, girl. So when you are flipping your legs, you are not creating bubbles under the water, bitch.
But okay.
I swim and don't.
What you're saying?
But I'm sorry, Carell. Can we make sure that we get that to be a clip?
That's the clip of the week. You want that to be the clip?
I need that to be the clip, please. I said I could get that on Boomerang right now.
I just want to feel like I could have been under the water.
VHS? Can I get that on VHS? But yeah, so we'll see how it looks. But like, no, like I think. Because some of the live action be hitting and some of it don't.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm hoping this one hits. I truly hope it hits.
I'm gonna tell you between
and
the
if
live
I'll
action
just listen to the soundtrack because she sounds amazing. Between
the live action of this and the live action of Wicked, it's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then oh girl, and then we got doesn't The Color Purple come out next year too? Bitch, we got The Color Purple next year. I forgot that.
And we start with Wakanda Forever this year. So this year to next year, it's just gonna be blackity black. Get our outfits ready. Get your church clothes ironed.
I'll tell you. Okay, I'm coming down. Look, I'm gonna look like somebody usher at the church, bitch.
With your white stockings.
Walking down, going like this. Go ahead, right here, honey. Okay.
I'm gonna have that church finger.
Wait. We talked about the church finger last week. This is the second week in a row.
I'm gonna wear that Ursha board outfit.
The
orthopedic white shoes.
With the little bow tie.
Yeah.
With the little bow tie.
With the little hat.
With the little hat
and the white stockings.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The white.
You call them stockings or pantyhose?
We call them stockings.
We call them stockings too.
Mm-hmm.
Community, is there a difference between stockings and pantyhose? I don't know.
North and South.
Maybe.
Okay.
My parents are from the South, so they call them stockings.
Yeah.
Like with your stockings, that she used to tell my sister, go put your stockings on. I'm having flashbacks right now. And then the other thing that Black Twitter was killing me. Damn, no pun intended on that. Queen Elizabeth done died.
Next topic.
And Everyone saying Queen Latifah,
Beyonce.
Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, no, with Tracy Ellis Ross.
Not Tracy though.
They said not Tracy.
Girl, they had me die.
Do not mess with Black Twitter. Do not do it.
Honey.
Look, someone said US 99, England 96 final score. I said, because Betty White passed at 99. Right. I said, not the final score, 99, 96.
Done.
But can we talk about the reason why Black Twitter erupted and the fact that two things. One, there are Black and brown unarmed men and women who get shot and killed where white America just sits there and shrugs their shoulders, but y'all want to mourn a queen. By the way, we won independence.
Did we leave England because you didn't like England?
We won our independence over 250 years ago, and y'all bitches are weeping over a queen that don't give a fuck about you?
It's like y'all left because they persecuted you, even the white people. So y'all got up and left, and then
that's why y'all dumped all that tea. Listen, that's why y'all dumped all that tea in the damn harbor. So that's why y'all got into your feelings.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not even checking. Like, at the end of the day, it is somebody's mom. I get it. And it's sad that somebody died. I get that because there are people that care for her, her kids and grandkids and shit.
And
like
we don't want to dismiss anybody's feelings. No. Like, if someone is sad, maybe they're from that country, maybe they have ancestors from that country. We are not dismissing that at all. Like that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I care about the Black and brown bodies that are not mourned by white America in the United States.
I just learned that who Princess Diana was 2 weeks ago.
Diana, not Diana.
I said Diana. I did say Diana, didn't I?
Oh, that's a black girl. Oh, Diana. He said Zaza Gabor.
I still don't know her damn name. I still don't know.
And all them rich bitches.
But we know the difference, right? The difference is, yes, 25 years ago. Damn, I was in high school. 25 years ago, yeah, she died, but Princess Diana did not start off as royalty, and yet when she got to royalty, she did a lot for other people outside of her country. Queen Elizabeth is responsible for the colonization and murder of Black and brown countries and continents for over 70 years. So there is a huge difference between Princess Diana and Queen whoever.
And I still wasn't even checking.
I was just talking about a royal person. I was talking about a royal person in general. The only other person I know is Meghan Markle.
And even the Meghan Markle Black Twitter shit.
She said, "Peace, I'm out."
No, I like the one.
But it was a shade, the side by side of her outfit that was like Princess Diana.
Yeah. I looked that up though. I was like, okay, she didn't even wear that this week. That's from 2017 or something like that.
Damn, I was gonna say that was petty.
I was like, that's petty as hell.
I was here for it. Okay,
I know,
so that's
because I almost posted it because I was like, damn, she did them grimy. Then I was like, let me look this shit up. Then I was like, oh, that's from 2018 or 2019 or something like that. But I was like, whoever put it to side, that's funny as hell.
Put that shit together real quick. I mean, I can give two shits, honestly. I just like I said, like y'all said, somebody died. I have respect for that, but it don't go past anything other than that was somebody's mama, somebody's grandma, somebody's sister, somebody's mama. Like that's literally where it ends at for me. I don't care nothing about the royal family. I get people in England and in other countries that, because I forget how many countries that they're actually
Australia, Canada. There's
dozens. Well, don't forget. No, there's actually two differences. So you've got the Commonwealth. You've got the Commonwealth who recognize her. Don't ask me how I know. How they recognize her as the Queen of State, and then you actually have the Queen of England of Great Britain, which is a collection of 5 to 7 continents, countries like Scotland.
got
When I
like
was saying that there were still countries that gave
like
a fuck
Jamaica,
about her more than I gave a fuck about this. The point that I was making, that was the point. So what I was saying is, outside of being somebody's mama and somebody's auntie, that there are people out there that truly do care about this, and I don't want to belittle that. I was just co-signing when y'all said that earlier. But I don't care why they do.
I just don't care why America is so fixated on, because we left. Not even we. They left.
And then dragged us.
And dragged us into this. And then now you crying about the people that you left for? Like, that's weird to me. I don't understand it at all. And I get maybe it's just because over time the UK and the US have had a good, what's the word I'm looking for? Allyship with one another. Cool. Get it. Okay, we need that shit in the world because the world crazy. However, some of these people was like breaking down. And I'm like, you know her? You had her phone number? Y'all was texting.
It was crazy.
You had her alt Twitter.
But some of the conversations, though, that I've been seeing are like people like getting mad at people who were saying like, I don't care that the queen is dead, and, you know, good riddance and stuff like that, because they were on the opposite end of the bad things that she's done and that she's been known for. And the sheer notion that some people are like, well, she died, so you can at least wait one day. And I'm like, well, who are you to tell someone that, especially
y'all couldn't be waiting one day to be racist?
Right, exactly. Like she couldn't stop being racist for one day. She couldn't apologize and stop doing what she had did to them for one day. Like, no, you are telling people who have had years, a lifetime of traumatic experience because of someone, and you think you have the right to tell them to put your feelings aside because I am mourning. So your feelings are more important than those that were on the other side? Shut the fuck up.
Again, I just go to Black Twitter in moments like this because they say everything that need to be said.
I know. I have to go to the zoo sometime and read, you know, what white people be doing online. So, you know,
that's some fucking facts right there.
It's wild, bitch. It'd be wild, bitch.
It's not even a zoo. It's a fucking jungle. It's a jungle.
Look.
Makes me wonder how I keep from going under. I'm just saying. That is funny. But so yeah, Meghan Markle, stay strong, because I know they still probably saying some bullshit about you over there, even during this crazy time. So it's just like
don't let it be her. She can't be next.
It's like, girl, bye. But shout out Carlos Alcarez for winning the U.S. Open. That was a good match, by the way.
That was. Let me tell you, that was the point. Since we stopped recording, all his matches were 5-setters.
That's Tiafoe match was fire. That was a good ass match,
girl.
And I'll say it again. I'm glad that Tiafoe is starting to come into his own. I hope
Michelle Obama was there. Let me tell you,
had the titties out.
I cried. I was like, that's everyone's dream to see your auntie right there in the front row.
Did you see him on Good Morning America? Robin Roberts asked him about that, and he said, "Yeah." He's like, "I was on the changeover, and I looked, and I was like," and he said, "Michelle looked at me like," and I was like, I'm like, that is just a black experience.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And she even made a post about him too. Like, that's how you know it was genuine. It was real. Like,
I couldn't even imagine trying to get into that stadium though, because it sucks getting into that stadium as is. To have her security, shit.
Girl, let me tell you.
But she had the titties out there. That's all I keep saying. I was like, go ahead. Michelle said, get me out this White House so I can have my titties out.
I was
White House titties out. White House titties out.
Honey, I was here for it.
I was a little uncertain about how I was gonna feel about this US Open, especially with Serena losing. It was a really good US Open. It was
I don't really like Iga that much.
I mean, she all right though. I mean, like
energy about her that rubs me wrong. I don't know what it is yet.
I actually think she's pretty nice. I watch her press conference. I watch like the WTA shit and stuff like that. Yeah. And people speak really highly of her.
Yeah.
And she also gives me lesbian vibes too. I don't know what I think.
Her and Ons.
Yep, and Ons. They both give me energy like they are in the community.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna say nothing because they both in places where you know that also is
a true statement.
it's a no. So we not gonna say any of
That's
that.
a true statement.
But I enjoyed that championship. I enjoyed the men's championship. Casper Rudd, Rude, Casper Rude. Hey boo.
Hey boo. Call me boo. He cute. And Carlos is cute. Carlos is going to look cute in about 5 years.
Yeah, once he's able to drink legally, I'll say hey boo. But for
Carlos is going to age well. But yeah, no. And here's the thing, like, after this generation of tennis players, we're like, God, this is going to be even good no more. I think we're going to be all right. Because even the center match with Alcarez, center's going to be there too. That was a dope match.
He could, we give him a little bit of time,
Right, he's still growing a little bit.
He's just 19. Give him
and he's the youngest U.S. the youngest number one.
He's only 19?
19 in like 3 months or something like that. Like, he's a young 19.
Like a
he's May of 2003. So wow, 19. Damn.
Yeah.
That nigga's
and he's
fine.
that good though. He's that good.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he played 4 5-set matches and then played a 4-setter in the championship. They said that if he would have gone 5-set, that would have been the longest that anyone has gone that many 5 sets.
The 5-set, and I think time-wise, he had the longest amount of time on court in a major tournament ever.
Correct. Yep. He also had that. But no one else had 5-setters, like multiple 5-setters to make their way to the championship.
So that's gonna be scary. This is gonna give him some more confidence. Like,
he got that youth on him. Because I'm telling you, I was staying up until like 1 o'clock in the morning watching him. They were going to like, girl, like I'm telling you, like they were going, and he did not look tired. That's how you know you got young knees. Okay, that's how you know you got youth on your side.
He was just a little tired in the final at parts. But then after that tie break, the crowd kind of really doing. He's like, okay, I got that 3rd win now, Playboy.
See, and here's the thing, because he's done in the other rounds. I think that tired is just the mental. I think that's him just trying to figure out, like, fuck, like 100%. how do I get out of this? Because all of his 5-setters, he's had that moment too, where he's been like,
he had a little mental moment.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he just come back and just be like, boop, just won 4 games.
He runs down everything. Like, I don't think we thought Nadal. He's like even better incarnation of like Nadal and Djokovic. It's ridiculous. He's like the combo of Nadal and Djokovic, which is scary.
Literally is.
Scary. He's like the physicality of a Nadal and the run and the flexibility of like a Djokovic.
Yeah. That little boy.
It's like Omicron.
Shut up.
That's what I'm gonna call this heifer. Carlos Omicron. But so obviously that was the last major for the year. We'll see how the end of the year. We'll see if Nadal plays the rest of the year. I wonder if he's like, I want to be number one last time, because he doesn't have to defend any points the rest of this year because he was hurt last year. So he might be like, okay, I could play 1 or 2 more tournaments, do well, and probably end the year number one last time. And then he's got to defend like Australia and French, and so he has so many points next year to defend. So this might be the last time we see Nadal up there.
I don't know, but I will say I've been given the WTA finals a thought.
Really? Because it's going to be in Dallas or Fort Worth.
It's in Fort Worth. Yeah. So I was like,
it's around Halloween. What is it going? Something's going on.
Yeah, it's like the last week of October to the first week of November. Because Halloween's on a Monday. I want to say it is. Yeah.
I think it's on a.
No,
it's either a Sunday or a Monday. It's
on a Monday.
It's on a Monday. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just I want to see these top 10 women play, because there's some good women in the top 10. I actually like the women's top 10 right now.
Let me think. I don't like Sabalenka that much.
Oh, she's the only one I don't like.
Yeah,
that girl. Let me show you. When she showed up in them shades at the press conference, because she had lobster on.
Yeah,
she was so mad. I was like,
She said, I don't want to be here.
Love.
I like Jessica Pagula. I like that she's a billionaire's kid, but she still wants to work.
Yes.
So I like that energy.
Because she's the daughter of the Buffalo Bills
and
owner.
and he owns not the Sabres, like another team too, like a hockey team. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I like Coco, obviously. Who else is in there?
Maria Sakkari.
I like her. She
I like her
kind of
too.
gets a little lesbianist energy too.
She does too.
Who else? I think
is Pliskova still in the top 10?
I think she's back in the top 10.
Okay. Garcia. I like Caroline Garcia.
She choked.
Yeah,
she choked hard.
Yeah, she did.
She played like boo-boo against Ons. Boo-boo. Like she was destroying bitches.
Yeah.
And looked like they got boo-boo against
and they got spanked. Yeah.
So yeah, I like Garcia. So yeah, I guess I don't mind some of the top 10. Maybe have them. We'll see. Yeah. The verdict's still out for Iga for me. But Communitea, I know sometimes you'd be like, who are these bitches? I don't know them.
They said, I'm glad they said this to the end.
They showed in. They said, okay, we're turning it off now. I'm gonna see a dip in the analytics.
They said, we already know to wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. So what else more to
It's like, I'll see y'all next week.
Right. Bye.
Cue the outro music. Cue the outro music.
On that note, y'all know it. Bye.